It's the early 2000s. You just finished school and all your mates are getting ready to eat their beans on toast their mums have made and then get outside to skateboard. Maybe a little knock knock ginger or ding dong ditch. But first, getting out of your itchy inverted cactus school uniform, tuning into one of the free channels on the TV, jumping onto the couch and loading up Tracy Beaker. It was a more innocent time. The world felt more innocent. A bad kid then just swore, bullied and at worst smoked a ciggy behind the school bus shelter. These days though, we have wheelie popping, vape chugging, WKD downing, knife toting mini gangsters ready to teach you what real men are like. Forget that though. I'm going where no other YouTuber has. I'm looking back at that little slice of English history of maybe your childhood, and me and you together can work out if the story of Tracy Beaker is something we should keep rewatching or just ding dong ditch. The start of this first episode sets up everything perfectly. You get this angry, demanding little demon that kids can relate to. Then the first adult we see talks about the child behind her back.
Peter, if I'm not back in half an hour, I'll call international rescue.
And then that this adult is surprised to see the parentless child has attachment issues and is upset their old room isn't theirs anymore.
Mike, someone's put their stuff in my room.
Look, Tracy, you've been gone for 3 months.
I wasn't being sarcastic. This really is a great way to start. It doesn't get more realistic than somebody in a care profession not being able to care. Tracy then jokes about how she would like Mike, who just spoke badly about her to another child, to adopt her. Naturally, he says no.
I'll leave you to get yourself sorted out, right?
Tracy then decides to break into someone's room and break their stuff, as well as lie about why she was ditched by her foster parents. Sounds terrible, right? Well, it sounds unrealistic, if anything, because the modern youth would be inhaling enough weed to knock out a rhino whilst popping wheelies down. Well, actually every road, they seem to be weirdly common, like flies. But jokes aside, the first episode shows us what's most important. Don't judge. The stroppy, angry one is just a girl with a soft heart who gets hurt over and over, now stuck in a cycle. She tries to say sorry twice, well, before she gets in a fight. You get the point though. The show wants us to think, bad kids? Are they really so bad? Well, it may also just be that the writers don't know what bad really is because they chose the bad kid here.
I wouldn't like to say.
To wear a netting tank top, which I'm not even sure adults really even wear, and the ones that do, well...
I am Klaus.
What may be smarter from the writers is that they got to reduce their budget by using children's drawings for their animations, and it is absolute genius. Get the children to write them too. Why not make them useful? Because not all these children can act. I mean, this kid can't even say anything without looking like how we judge his wardrobe.
It's just a definitely that has me worried.
And then we get more accurate content. The child gets told off for taking 2 small slices of pizza.
Answered this, why get the blame?
Well, now perhaps you can take your fluffy toppings and eat them.
With inflation these days, they're probably only allowed 1 pepperoni slice each. What's even funnier is that we see the pizza with maybe 10 slices, then we see 7 children, so it looks like some of these plates are staying empty. Man, the realism is insane.
Any ketchup?
And all of that was just the first juicy episode. Staple number 2 of the care system. Bribing children with sweets, except this one is one of the worst.
Is something I can help you with?
Why on earth did they choose a mint humbug? And if that punishment isn't bad enough, you get making the black woman do whiteface, then stealing her clothes,
Hello?
as well as putting cheese sauce in the only nice guy's wellies.
All right, Peter. Be with you straight away.
Be with you in a second, alright? Oh, God, my cheese sauce!
Don't forget, best of all though, the classic shoving a worm down your trousers and never taking it out. What? Why? Who does that?
What are you waiting for, Justine? Rubber gloves? Go on. Right down. Oh, she's doing it. Cool.
Oh, please don't let this show be like the weird iCarly Nickelodeon feet stuff.
In. Out. In. Out. In.
And then we've got meal 2 of the show, spaghetti bolognese British style. No meatballs, no herbs, just pasta and watery tomato. Yum.
Wriggly and slithery.
I wouldn't mess with Duke's food though, the guy supports a certain political party.
Never interrupt a writer in full flow.
Every episode we get a break up from all the light-hearted jokes with some wonderfully depressing moments of Tracy Beaker being neglected or abused.
We went everywhere together. You wish.
Normally, you break up sad shows with happy moments, but the kids gotta know how they could be abused by their parents at any moment. Very smart show, very smart. But being abused isn't enough. You also gotta remind them that they can be bullied at any moment too for trying to make themselves look better.
I get my hands on her, I'm gonna kill her.
Hello!
Alright, that's enough.
There is always a benefit though, isn't there? I mean, everyone likes an underdog, and why foster the snobby bully or the try-hard blondie when you could have the slobbering fluffy wreck? Speaking of underdogs, you may notice my undeservedly low sub count. If you're enjoying seeing this small-time slobbering wreck reviewing an old kid show, then maybe give him a little like and sub. Go on, support the underdog. Moving forwards, the chef who only makes very simple tomato-based foods asks why the only vegetable the children can come up with is baked beans. Might be because all you make them is baked beans, mate. Get them a courgette and they all freak out.
I can't believe the only vegetables you guys can come up with are baked beans.
Okay, I'm pulling back the curtain here. I wrote that in my script and I kid you not. Duke pulls out these bad boys a few minutes later.
Ta-da!
Looks like an explosion in a bogey factory.
And let me tell you, these kids are spoilt. My American cousins would know that anything deep fried is instantly good. It is also hilarious that even when Duke does try to make a healthy meal, it's still deep fried with a sausage and baked beans. Ah, true English cuisine at its finest. A balanced meal at its peak. The big plot twist of this episode, though, is that Duke has a garden with fresh vegetables.
Hand them over, Zach.
His threats aren't surprising though, we've seen his real self. This is not a man that you mess with.
But if you ever pick my vegetables again without permission, I'll boil them for a week and make you suck.
There is also this strange thing that I started to notice. Let me break this down. Tracy Beaker is white. Okay, yeah, I know, crazy. Justine Littlewood is, well, not white, right? However, in Tracy's imagination, Justine is somehow whiter than Tracy?
Everyone tries to steal my ideas. I'll have zebra print curtains, a film-style dressing table with some very special features.
This racist child whitewashes anyone not her race.
It's not fair!
You truly never know what someone is thinking. See, she's threatening her and oh no.
And do you? If you're not careful, I'll...
Oh no, she's even acting on it. Don't get Stinky Face involved too. There he is.
Beaker, what's up?
I'm running away. That's what's up.
Never mind, she's just running away with the clearly not suspicious face of a boy who is always trying to sniff. Oh god no, this episode, Lord help me. Oh. You don't make him a treehouse and then do a scene with monkeys and make him act like a monkey. What? Now, hilariously, the one-time Stinky Face has an excuse for that facial expression, withholding the truth he's actually a rich kid, as he's driven home because Tracy pushed it.
Benny, you're right! I slipped!
Sorry, yeah, he fell from the tree. His face is now completely normal. Obviously, Tracy can't hold back her hate towards them for having a big house. Yeah, it's definitely that.
I don't want any of your stinking tea. Have a good laugh, did you, in your fancy house with your fancy mum? I hate you!
But apparently it's a sad ending and we should feel bad for her or something. This show is apparently called a drama show, but they're not wrong. There is some real drama watching Duke trying to plan and make a balanced meal. So far they're a sausage away from being vegetarian, though that may explain why they're so cursed. How did a kids show get away with saying a word that means someone who is, let's say, financially promiscuous?
Ben came round to see you.
I don't want to speak to him, he's a skanky liar.
This half of episode 4 ends with us learning the only time Duke can afford meat is for a birthday, and I've never seen children celebrate some barbecue meat so much. Times really change. You could get a kid an iPhone and they'd spit on you this year. We also discover that Tracy hates old people too, as she tries to put them into cardiac arrest.
Scary rides.
Oh, come on, hurry up!
Harry, slow down.
As well as little touches that add genuine realism, they perfectly capture how disconnected the care system is. The random social worker walks in telling the people who spent all day with the little racist, ageist child that she knows better. Let's help the children, they say, then mix in with some adult egotism of, I know what's best for them. The result is a child going from this.
My nan says there's nothing like a cup of tea when you're tired.
She's right.
She said.
To this.
I hate you, Tracy Beaker! No!
Good job, adults, you're saving the kids. And ironically, it's the child that ends up saving the day, though this is technically much less realistic. They never save the day, they're just a pain. And if you can't tell, there is genuinely some elements of this that captures the dysfunctional nature of the childcare system here. You get a real feel for the British culture of a troubled child, except with probably a lot more innocence. In this show, the child will have a strop or shout, "You silly sausage!" In real life, they will craft a shank and encourage their 7 mates to wait for you outside the local corner shop. I'm not kidding you, England is actually getting that bad. So let's continue laughing at the unrealistic, realistic children in care, shall we? This show isn't all fun and games, but actually provides social commentary on the divide between poverty and luxury from capitalist control. We've established that Duke can't afford to feed the children more than carbs and tomatoes. Well, explain why they have a PlayStation 1 then.
Justine, right?
Louise.
Something which would have costed well over 500 portions of dolmio pasta.
When Signor Dolmio Day. Yay. Yay.
Okay, yeah, they probably just thought, hey, kids love games, right?
He's stuck here in the dumping ground forever.
Yeah, sorry to tell you, Tracy, but, There is a refreshing innocence, though, to a show having a love story that isn't an overly attractive man and an overly attractive woman getting it on after several seasons. Well, in Tracy Beaker, the love story is a back and forth, will they, won't they, between Tracy and Cam. Instead of being obnoxious, stale and cliché, it's an actual beautiful story of a loud young girl's broken heart potentially being mended by a hard-working, quiet woman.
If you don't want me to write the article, I would understand.
Well, come on then.
Yeah, you're right. We do have stacks to get through.
We'll be lucky if we get it finished tonight. Maybe we should do lunch.
Is family and love something made through blood or effort? I am genuinely interested to see how this show tackles that, and pretty quickly, Cam shuts it down with a lol, nope kid, I can't even afford the tomato in my spaghetti.
I'm in no position to foster anybody.
Thanks.
And because you've got loads of ticks on the bonus money allowance chart, you'll get £2 extra this weekend.
£2 extra? After inflation, that's enough to buy a house these days. What? In case you can't tell, that's a joke. I'm joking about inflation. Oh look, Stinky Face came to watch the poor children getting the little food they can.
Oh, don't do that! Is it tea time?
Poor Tracy Beaker.
Ever had a cake face pack, Justine?
All alone in the world with only Elaine the Pain to watch over her.
My mum could turn up at the last minute.
Yeah, the club last minute maybe. Then back with the realism as a social worker breaks the rules to give their favourite child a TV. Absolute classic.
Justine, why don't you take your bag upstairs?
Justine, what's in the bag? Check this out. A TV! You won't be allowed to keep that in your room.
Kids see me as too authoritarian.
Well, not really.
Stand away!
Maxie likes me, don't you, Maxie?
You smell funny.
Now that's my kind of guy. Ding ding ding, we have a new meal, and you guessed it, it contains tomato, it contains pasta, it's ravioli and white bread. For those of you outside the UK, this may seem pretty dire, but legitimately I did actually eat this as a kid. A little bit of poverty is a lot of bit of culture, alright?
My dad gave me this. So he's always getting you things. He's gone away. He's gone to work up north.
Can someone tell her that England ain't that big? Up north only takes a few hours. It's not like you have to cross the Great Wall of China, mate.
Now, the first round is to find the biggest leaf. Have you got that, Maxie? The biggest leaf.
Biggest leaf, eh? Now that's a game the kids these days would be into. The idea of this episode is to win a prize by completing challenges, and naturally Tracy gets let's say others to do all the labour, which results in a riot.
Prize cow. Oh, your fault, Justine. We could have won if we'd used my plant. Come on, rubbish! And several extremely humongous, gut-rotting fizzy drinks.
Tracy!
Okay. Forget the extra cheese.
None of these children are winners though. I mean, they're so desperate they have to sneak into the kitchen in the middle of the night just for a few cans of cold soup. In fact, the workers even tease the children about what they could have.
Roast beef, Yorkshire puddings, carrots, peas, gravy, and potatoes. Creamed, of course.
Of course.
But we thought you could have some fresh water and some crackers.
Creamed, of course.
Little stinky face. As soon as he starts talking without looking like he sucked on a battery, the veins start popping out of his neck.
Oh, but darling, how disappointing for them. I'm stuck in Paris.
A good half of the show is feel-good filler content with a back-and-forth friend-hate relationship between Justine and Tracy. It also doesn't really develop. They'll have a good moment, then the next episode starts and they hate each other. It is pretty relatable though, because we all do just learn how to hold a grudge for literally no reason at all at that age. I'm sure I remember hating one boy just because his name was the same as mine. No, the name wasn't Platinum.
Tracy, you can't force people into making a decision.
But it's my life that should be changing. And I've gone right off my food.
No, don't think that's a you problem, Tracy. It's definitely not your fault. We finally do have some plot development though, maybe the first since Tracy met Cam. The big question of if Cam will foster her. I mean, why wouldn't she?
Beaker! Oh, don't be such a wuss. She's practically my mother. Welcome to my new home.
Yeah, well, that could be one reason. Naturally, it doesn't go well for Tracy, and unlike real life, she actually feels bad for breaking and entering, where a real life child would probably just go back for round 2 and just leave a nice steamer. Well, everywhere. The real steamer here, though, is Cam, saying Tracy can just go on and wait a whole nother season before she decides if she wants her or not.
And I'm not saying I won't foster you.
What?
I'm just not saying that I will.
That means you're going to, right?
Wrong. It means that I'm still thinking about it.
I smell children.
Maybe try, I don't know, a balanced diet or just washing them, Duke? I don't...
You're grounded.
It wasn't her. It was me.
Tracy, I think you better apologise very, very nicely.
Watch out, Tracy, just do what he says. Do what he says or he might smell you. Nothing ruins a show more than a plot hole. I mean, one episode, Justine's dad moves so far away she's crying she'll never see him again, and now she's asking for a pickup at 7. Go on, Dad, set off at 7 AM, nice little 12-hour drive, drive me 30 minutes to my mates and bugger off back up north. No surprise when he doesn't turn up.
Come on, let's go home.
But it is a surprise that they managed to get all the kids in bed whilst it's still sunny outside. These kids are so terrible they can't get fostered, but don't worry, they'll go to bed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Enough for a little sleepover, isn't it?
Our sleepover can wait. There's something important we have to do. Come on. Supper time, Trevor's.
What's going on?
Some episode setups are actually realistic though. Children with attachment issues and other issues will often dislike changes, especially when it's consistent people. And in this episode, Jenny is gone, with Tracy and the kids reacting poorly to the replacement.
Pleased to meet you.
The staff will share ideas on how she should act.
See, you can have all the training and qualifications you like, but the secret of being good at this job is experience.
And the thing is, kids aren't actually as dumb as TV thinks, especially in this world of every kid being labelled with ADHD or something else. They're all aware of additional needs, and they're aware on how to pull heartstrings and manipulate the system. Well, forget all that and the sob story, don't trust a care worker who has white stains on their bum.
Aren't we supposed to be going shopping?
Next up, Tracy doesn't do her homework and wastes her precious soup on a social worker.
No, your problem is that you can't tell the difference between what's true and what you'd like to be true. If you wanted this to be a bar of chocolate, then that's what you'd say it was. And what's that? A bowl of strawberries and cream?
Yes, Elaine.
Oh man, her first filling meal wasted. The episode is a silly little murder mystery.
Elaine, do you know you're very wet?
Well, anyway, a little homework murder mystery that everyone but the social worker who wants a promotion is trying to solve, and...
Elaine, you better be getting off.
Okay, you know what, I give up. No meaningful analytical speech this time, okay?
Not now, Duke.
Oh, come on, the guy just wanted to share his discovery of bacon. That's alright though, Jenny had her own idea for lunch. It wasn't Duke cooking dinner this time though, it was Justine, and ironically her food isn't that much worse than Duke's.
All she did was microwave the chips.
Duke's spaghetti a la tin or Justine's potatoes and cream. You decide in the comments. Episode 11. Tracy tries to be good, so Camp fosters her, whilst all the staff complain she's just being annoying. Way to reinforce a kid's good behaviour.
So why hasn't Cam decided to foster me yet?
Maybe she hasn't got room in her wall for your Pest of the Year award.
When were you thinking of actually becoming well-behaved and helpful? That's enough helping, thanks.
You're right. I don't want you telling Cam that I'm a boring old perfectionist.
Don't worry, I won't.
Then the carers decide to gamble in front of a young child whilst teaching poor hygiene and playing with a shoe in the kitchen.
Oh no! Oh shit! Look, Jen.
Winner goes shopping.
Wait.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. He grabs a toilet brush and then leaves without washing his hands, and you think the kids are the animals.
Tracy, come on!
Mike then, with his shoe grime, crap-loaded hands, leaves all the kids alone, ditching Cam with them all.
20 minutes, right? You tell the kids. I'll be back.
I'm sure Cam's got the balls for it though. Especially if they help. Sadly, that knock to the head didn't wake her up from leading a child on with, "I need more time." Yeah, don't worry Tracy, we've all heard that one.
About fostering.
You'll do it!
I need more time.
Suddenly, everyone starts getting ill, one by one, within literal minutes, so we can conclusively say that our recent disease-ridden global incident did not come from your favourite country that rhymes with Kong Hong, but actually from a disgusting UK foster home. The benefit is that whilst everyone hates Elaine the Pain, she at least knows how to cook a healthier meal.
Thought I'd make boiled eggs and soldiers.
I am serious though, this woman, Elaine the Pain, is quite literally the Jar Jar Binks of Tracy Beaker.
How are you feeling, Jenny? Well enough to eat a nice bit of soft boiled egg?
Garlic is the most proven way of seeing off vampire attack. Look, this is Marron too, and it smells like a kebab shop.
Ah yes, British culture. Our only understanding of garlic is with a kebab. For those of you who don't know, a British kebab is this: indiscriminate, unknown meat shaved onto pita bread you never eat, with salad you scrape away, and covered in garlic sauce so strong it'll turn your mouth inside out for a week. Anyway, I got carried away there. Nothing really happens in this episode at all. Wait a second, rewind. Is that fruit? They have fresh food?
Oh, you will stop.
Okay, we have a new continuity error. Remember when I commented on the PS1?
Yeah, it's stuck again.
Can't we get a new one? If we get a DVD, Ben can lend us 1 million movies.
Well, here they're complaining because their VHS player broke and they can't afford a DVD player. A DVD player which is half the price of a PS1. We also now have flashbacks that happened about 2 days ago. Not the worst thing, because the depressing black and white trauma flashbacks were a real mood killer.
I taught you everything you know with this ball.
Right, Brian, play it to Tracy, Go on. Good one. Play it back to Tracy, go on. Go on, give it a lash.
Who is responsible for this?
Me. Sorry. I kicked it too hard.
What's more depressing though is that every good show has to have loss. And this episode, the children all lose Mike because he gets a new job. Seriously though, the impact is huge. We empathise with the children, and we as the viewers will miss Mike as a stable comedic chap. Heck, I'm even sure that you watching my jokes at this series, you're going to miss him too. Just as he will miss his guitar that the children sell for a £5.
Come on, everybody, get your bargains here. Your guitar, madam? Yes, there you go, £5. Thank you very much for your custom.
They buy him a new one, selling everything, and it's a big old happy ending.
How could you lot afford this?
Who needs a DVD player?
Why don't I give everyone a goodbye song, huh?
No!
Hey. Ready?
I'll send the strings to your new place.
Well, until Tracy has enough of being led on and tells Cam that it's easy, cheap, and totally not a hellish nightmare to foster a child.
Months? Years? How do you think I feel? You're stringing me along all the time. I'll just get Martha to foster me then. It's obvious she hates kids, but at least I'd have a home. Because I'm not going to get one with you, am I?
This genius move of emotional blackmail leads Cam to the decision to foster Tracy.
I'm sorry. Are you busy?
Yes.
Come to a decision. About Tracy. Tracy, can I have a word?
Have two. Bog off.
I'm really sorry about this morning. I didn't mean to upset you. Would you come and have a look at another flat with me?
Forget it.
But you're so much better at it than me. If I go on my own, I end up living in some damp, smelly hovel.
You're just not going to give up, are you? Got nothing to do with me.
It's got everything to do with you, Tracy. It's your new bedroom.
For weekends.
For always, if you want it to be.
Cam! I love it! I absolutely love it! It's the best bedroom anyone can have in their whole life ever!
And everybody celebrates their wonderful, definitely perfect, definitely never going to fail toxic relationship. Hilariously, everyone actually forgets that Adele is leaving and focuses entirely on Tracy. Then after a whopping 3 hours, Tracy is out the door and whisked away. And that, right there, is season 1 of 5 of The Story of Tracy Beaker. An accurate portrayal of the care system. Yep. An accurate depiction of emotionally damaged children. Well, maybe a censored version. Whatever the case, the show is actually fairly funny. It smacks you with some feels, mostly good, and builds some genuinely good characters with development. I went in expecting a show that's aged awfully, that I only liked as a child because I had no taste in anything. But actually, I think the show might be good. Am I allowed to say that? I mean, it was just 1 season, is that okay? The show isn't done though, there is actually more seasons, and, well, I'm not going to talk about what happens after that unless this video gets some serious likes. So if you want to see more of me making fun of a show about children in a care home, then go on, you little sadist, hit that like button, go and leave me a little comment saying I like laughing at emotionally damaged men making jokes about emotionally damaged children, and I may see you again very soon.